Yo, 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 welcome back to the Heavily Opinionated Podcast. It's your boy, Jamel Kijana, aka Melly Mel, aka whatever you want to call me. And with me, I got.
It's your boy. It's your homie. It's the one that your mama just keep calling. And I swear to y'all, if she keep calling me, I'm gonna block her. It's your boy Playboy Troy. What it do, Melly Mel?
Yes, sir. Yes, we all good over here, man. Who else I got with me?
Man, you know what it do. It's the people favorite DJ, bro. What it do, folk?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the ones and twos. Man, we got a small crew tonight. It's just me, Rose, and Troy tonight, but it's all good. We're going to still keep that good energy in, and we're going to get these topics going.
It's the
So,
oligarchy edition, baby.
oh, yeah, you already know the vibes. So, Troy, talk to us about this summer league going on in the NBA. I know a few years back, me and you had went out there in Vegas while we was out there with the boys. We checked it out and it was solid. That was a little bit towards the end of the summer league, but I know it's just now kicking off. So I know the action, you're getting to see some of the guys that are probably going to start right now. As to compared to when we were going there, we were starting to see the guys who are just trying to make the team. But
Yeah, that was
how
the
is
height
it?
of LaMelo.
Yeah. How's it going now with the everything
Uh,
with the summer league?
this summer league, it's been really good. Uh, I just really want the top three prospects. Wembenyama, Scoot, Brandon Miller. I think Wembenyama and Scoot are done for the rest of the summer league, and I think Miller's still playing for the rest of the summer league. But this summer league has been great. I mean, it's just been a lot of action, a lot of good basketball. Uh, I got a chance to watch Scoot, Wembe, and Miller. I got to catch basically all their games, and I also got to catch some people. They was up there in top picks, the Twins. Uh, I got to see Platinum Pat, his sleeper. Uh, I got to catch him. Off of my top of my head, my mind's gonna blank on him. He got picked up by Cleveland, but it's been a great summer league.
Imani Bates.
Yes, Imani Bates.
Yeah.
I able to catch him. Man, it's been good, man. It's been a great summer league. When just a quick review on them. Quick top three, real quick. Wembenyama, uh, his first game was rough, and it was rough to watch because you could kind of
Yeah.
tell he's getting used to it, and you could tell everyone don't if you don't know, the EuroLeague is completely different from NBA. The NBA has way more run and gun. Um, they just play way faster pace, man. And Wembyamba, it was like, man, he looked like a deer in headlights his first game. It was like he was probably like within the first 5 plays, he was huffing and puffing. He was like he just looked lost. He was stumbling. He looked like Bambi, and it just like, man. And I like what he said in his interview where he was like, bro, I don't even know what the fuck I don't even know what I'm doing out here. Yeah, we can all see that it looked like you don't know what's going on. But he bounced back in his second game, which I expected because I was like, man, that second game he played way better. It was like that pressure had got to him in that first game, but after a while he like knocked the pressure off and he just went out there and ball. So I expect him. He was great on defense the whole entire time. No matter what, he was great on defense. How can you like? How could you not be great on defense when you're 7'5" or whatever? But he was great on defense. His offense was flowing, and there was a scary part. I want to say in the second game when the Zaza Pachulia rule came up and the dude kind of undercut him, and I was like, yeah, he probably ain't playing no more for the rest of summer league because that dude he almost took him out, and I was like, damn, bro, that would have sucked if he missed the whole entire first year of his career. But overall, I think he's gonna be all right. I gave him like a B. Scoot, my he looked like a grown man amongst boys. He's gonna be good. I don't see no problems with him. He got that great tandem. They got a great team up in Portland, young team. They're gonna be coming up soon. But Scoot, he's a great head of the snake for them. Brandon Miller, he started off rough, and I think to me, my best comparison for him was Andrew Wiggins because it was like, man, first couple of games, it was like, man, is he even on the court? All he doing is fouling. He really not doing anything important. And I think the game that he had against Wembyamba, he picked it up. He woke up, I think he first started off with 2 threes straight. Like he was instantly shooting, but I think he's gonna be good sooner or later. I gave him I gave Scoot A minus, Wimbayamba a B, a B plus. No, I just go B, and then Brandon, I'm giving him a C plus for right now. But so far, the best draft picks really that's been coming out this year are the Twins. Uh, I messed their names up, so I just call them Twins. The Twins, and that's when and Imani Bates, man, he's showing out. I see why he's a sleeper. He's a great pickup for Cleveland. The man can just score. He's just a straight hooper. So I think this has been one of the best summer leagues. I think some people didn't know about Champagny. There's two Champagnes in the league. They're twin brothers. One plays with San Antonio. One plays for Boston. The one in San Antonio, he's been balling this summer league. He's probably gonna be the MVP. So I'm saying they're pretty good. Detroit Pistons been looking good. Wiseman, the Wiseman that showed up the summer league is the Wiseman that the Warriors thought they picked up, but it's not like he's coming
He
out
can
now.
still participate in summer league.
Yeah, because
Yeah, sheesh.
he's only been there for 2 years. He's only been there for like 2 or 3 years,
Oh, okay.
and
Um,
he was hurt like the first year.
that's crazy. I'll give my take on it. I did watch the Spurs game, the game against Charlotte, the one you were telling us earlier this week to check out. I was like, all right, let me
Yeah,
check it out. And yeah, the 5 blocks was crazy. I was like, wow, I didn't know because I didn't really know much about him, and I had some assumptions that it was like, oh, he's probably just a scorer. But I was like, oh no, the man got defense because it's like he has to. At the end of the day, he has to because I also did notice how tall he was. I was like, oh, he has to be defensive at this point. Like you can't be that tall and not play some type of defense, but you never know. So I saw that and I was like, okay, the shooting I didn't care that much about. I'm like that's not that's gonna come with it. The scoring I wasn't looking to see how he scored. I wanted to see how he played through the game, and I could tell he was a little bit timid. He took a lot of shots. It didn't look like he was gonna drive as much. That dog isn't there yet,
yeah,
and that's going to take time. And you don't have a dog when you don't know. You can't become a dog when you don't know the field. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? A
yeah,
dog isn't going to be a dog in in an uncomfortable area. So
I'm
he's not comfortable yet to really take over a game like that. So, but apparently he did with the 27. I didn't see that game though, but
yeah.
yeah, that whole game, I
That
noticed.
yeah,
I noticed it was a lot of raw talent out there, even on the Charlotte end with the Miller dude. He had some rawness that it was kind of like, dang, everybody. Some of the turnovers I saw in that game were like, ooh, these guys are just playing like they still in high school or not even high school, just nervous. Nobody's really ready for this
yeah,
moment,
yeah.
and
It's
they
kind of like
probably are
the
looking
pressure
at it
get to him a
like,
little bit.
dang, this is a huge turnout for a summer league game compared to previous years where it's like you might get half of the arena, but that arena looked pretty full. So it was
That arena
like
was
they probably weren't
stacked.
expecting that either. They were
It was.
expecting this to just be a chill little vibe real quick to kind of get to learn the coaching staff and the teammates and stuff like that. So yeah, that was nice. I didn't get a chance to catch any of them. I do want to catch the Magic because I want to see the the first pick they made with the brother out of I think it was either Arkansas or Alabama, or Houston, one of the schools in red. I remember they said he's like a defensive type of guard. So I wanted to see how he plays as well as seeing Jawan Howard's son play. I forgot his first name, but see, how he plays and how he shoots the three ball because I just have a good feeling about the Magic this year. Maybe it's because I'm a fan of Banchero, but I just want to see how if these pieces can really mesh with him. So I wanted to see how they play. But
I'm
I
about
don't
to
think the first pick. I don't think he's gonna play well until he's in the season because a
yeah,
defensive guy doesn't come out the gym playing great defense. A defensive guy takes a little bit of time to marinate. So
real.
I'm really
And
looking. Say again.
I was like, even with the league that he just came from over there, like he played pretty well. But when you look at his shooting numbers, it's a little But that'll come a time like he was talking about earlier. Like I just shooting and getting consistency. That's gonna be the big key with him offensively. Like you said, defensively, like he can move, and that was the biggest question with his footwork. Will he be able to keep up foot speed on the perimeter? Will he be able to continue to take the body where he got bigger bodies coming at him and tip like that? Especially as a big, it's like, yeah, you could be tall all you want, but if you can't take that impact, then it's like, okay, now I
he
could get some
all
shit
he
off to
all he
get
missing
off
is
my
weight.
shit. You
All
know
he
what I'm
missing
saying?
is
But
weight. That's
yeah,
all because he could
but this is
pass, he could score, he got defense, but really, it's just because he's so small. He has a small frame.
Yeah, he's
Once he
so
puts on,
fucking thin.
once he gets that strength up. Oh man, he's gonna be a problem. He's
Honestly, if you remember correct, like Giannis when he first came into the league, bro, I see a lot of similarities, and I don't even think he needs to get buff like Giannis is now. I just think if he just add a little, like you said, just a little weight to his frame, bro, he's a problem.
bro.
Like he's a
I don't need him to be a rock solid unit.
yeah,
I
y'all
just
don't need him to be rock solid. I just need him to have a little more bricks in his pockets, like
every
like
time
KD. Give me
every
KD
time
right
he
now.
hit the ground, I kind of was like, oof. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
you
man,
better
because in my head I'm like, man, he's so tall and his bones, he's so skinny. So it's like, yo, after a while, that those hits are gonna be like he needs to put some weight on. Like in my mind, I think about Chet from OKC.
yeah, I was just
He
about to bring
came
him up
in,
too.
he was
Yeah.
super skinny, and I mean he sat out the whole entire season. But now if you see him, my man's just he got muscle now. He been working. You can tell he been working this whole season.
No,
Like
you could tell he's been working this whole offseason. Like when they said that it could have make him push to come back, like it's kind of a blessing in disguise that they did because now you get to see what this man been working in the lab with, and it's looking like he's gonna be another little problem to solve. Like I don't know if it's gonna be as serious when it comes to Victor. Like if Victor's on the way he crossed dude on the perimeter off of making the pick and pop, rolled off and pulled up for that mid range, bro, that's a problem. It's like KD. There's nothing you can do when that man pull up. All you can do is hope that nigga miss.
oh yeah,
You
Yeah.
it
know?
was a shot that was like he made a shot, and I was like, man, he shot that ball literally from the back of his head.
Yes.
He was up in the sky, and I'm like, yo, nobody's gonna be able to contest none of these shots.
What are you
Nobody.
supposed to do?
Like,
You need someone put a hand in his face.
what are you gonna do about that? Because literally, no one could block any of his shots. They're up in the sky, and
You can't block it, let alone
He's
put a
shooting them
hand in his face.
like they're hitting. It's all net.
It is. And
Yeah.
that's the you go ahead, Mel.
Oh no, I was just gonna say about the putting on weight thing. I noticed it with Brandon Miller too when I saw him at the free throw line. I was like, oh, this dude's skinny. And when you had mentioned Andrew Wiggins, I was like, Andrew Wiggins came in skinny, and now look at him. He was
Yep.
more of a small forward with a possible two guard play. But then when he got to Golden State, well, of course, with Golden State, small guys tend to play power forward sometimes. So, but I don't know if he would play power forward anywhere else besides Golden State. But he still has some weight on him. And I'm like, okay, Brandon Miller's going to have to add some weight because LaMelo's not really, he's kind of big. He's tall for a point guard, but he's not like stocky.
Yeah,
So
he's
it's like
tall.
they're going to need a little bit more size. You know, if he's going to play the 3 or the 2, whatever, he might need a little bit more size because yeah, I hope Brandon Miller puts on some weight because that I was just thinking about that when you had brought him up as Andrew Wiggins. I was like,
Yeah,
see, A Wiggins. Oh, excuse me. A Wiggins didn't get better till he put on some more weight. I'm gonna be honest.
that's true. I can agree with
So
that.
because his paint
Once he put
presence,
a win on.
his driving and his paint presence got his shooting's always been pretty decent, but his shooting got better from just being in a Golden State Warriors system for a few years. But his driving and um paint presence didn't get better, and defense as well didn't get better till he put on some weight.
True.
Yeah,
But I was like, when he played in Minnesota,
because
he was
his
just chilling in the
foot
back.
speed push him off the spot. Because that's what you see with Brian saying that he could bully him going down is because he done picked up weight. That's still another problem with that too. But like he definitely got better for where he first came in because just like you said, there was niggas like D'Angelo Russell out here balling on him when he was out in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So it's really great to see that comes with player development. I understand you're getting better at your craft and also understanding your body to get your body to the point to fill in the role that where you're trying to get into. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of players be like, oh, they're just gonna do one thing and be able to get into that, and don't even clearly ever get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like it's commendable. Like not even trying to bring him up, but like Ben Simmons until like you be like, oh damn, you just automatically look at him, assume he got the body, he got the physique, he got the health. Okay, you got one injury, but he should be able to suffice up. And then you look at the rest and like his game from day one did not get better. But these other players that came in struggling, like the Austin Reeves, were able to improve and be able to build on their weight and build on the current success they had to improve on that. Like it's, I think we're gonna see that out of Victor. I think we're gonna see that out of Scoop. Brandon, I think we're gonna see something out of him too. It may not be necessarily as a scorer, definitely right away, but I like him still being in attack mode, trying to go at it. You know what I'm saying? From what I've been seeing him and Silly, even though they've been going his way, the worst thing you could see for a young player is for them to lose their confidence and saying that they don't even want to get a shot up. You know what I'm saying? Or even
Oh,
get the
that's one
ball.
thing, Brandon Miller. That's one thing I really did like about Brandon Miller is he did have confidence because even when his shot wasn't hitting, he just kept shooting. So I was like, okay, he at least he ain't losing confidence. He's like, man, I'm gonna try to work through this thing. After a while, it will become a problem. Only time could tell. But that's what you will want out your players is to constantly keep shooting.
Swear to God. I mean, look at MJ. Like that man, Kenny Jet Smith said, being a teammate with him over there, UNC and stuff. You're like, bruh, college nigga that had no dribble. You know what I'm saying? He was an athlete. He could jump out the building. He could do everything else in terms of some things that's going around the tip. Yeah, he was pretty solid, but he had no dribble. He get to the NBA, his weakness became his strength. That's what you want to see when you even come out of the draft. We see like prospects of what they can do, what's their weaknesses. Can they improve on that? Can they be able to? Because that improvement is what makes these players NBA ready players.
Yep, that's true. We're gonna have to see about that. Y'all got anything else that y'all noticed throughout the summer league, or that's pretty
I ain't
much
gonna-
it on that?
I think the
Oh,
summer league is
Houston,
a really great spot for young talent. Honestly,
be
I don't mean
be
to
on the lookout.
like that. Like it gives you players like I ain't gonna hold. Like I got a chance to rewatch some of the summer league games and stuff from like older players like a Draymond, Rondo. Hell, even Steph Curry was pretty crazy when his first summer league game. That shit was like whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas was just kind of sleeping. But even Draymond had an ISO game doing a hezzy pulling up from three, fading away on niggas and shit. And it's kind of like a lot of times with some of the summer league, it's the bountiful of looking at youth and saying that the possibilities of what the NBA is looking at. And right now, we're looking like a whole bunch of athletes, shooting ability, skill on skill. I think the game is in a really solid place going forward. Star talent, that's going to remain to be seen. But in terms of talent for the average player, right, everybody can hoop. Don't sleep on nobody.
That's true.
I would
That's
say
true.
the team to look out for. I think we mentioned it last episode. Houston. Houston is they're coming. They got a good team. Like the youth the team, the youth that's gonna be on the actual official team. They're good. Like Jabari Smith, one of the twins, uh, the kid that slid down in the draft that they kept putting the camera on during draft night. He was balling. They got a good team. They got a good youth, and I love the fact that I guess to me I'm more invested in that team now, as of to see what they're gonna do, is because Udoku is their coach, and he's a great coach. And when you put that youth with a great coach with some good vets, it's gonna be something good to look at. I'm not a huge Dylan Brooks fan, but it's gonna be something to look at towards. Hopefully, he's they put him in a position in a role that fits perfectly for him. Uh, and Fred Van Vliet, I have no problems seeing. I see him being he might could be an all star this season. Never know, but Houston's going to be a team to look out for too.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I'm really buying in on it yet. I like all the talent they got, but I want to see who's going to really take that lead and lead the team. Because a lot of times I've seen teams get a lot of young guys. There's no true leader, or that one true leader isn't the right one. And things end up just, or organization might just be like, let's just trade some of this. Let's get all this good youth talent so we could trade a few of them away. And so hopefully Houston just stays smart with it and tries to keep everything intact enough to let it develop and doesn't get too impatient on trying to bring in a veteran or a high priced veteran or a an all-star that could kind of break up that chemistry that maybe the youth could have been working on. So we'll have to see. The future will have to tell. There's so many factors that could determine it. So let's see. Um, we gonna move into something that I noticed this past week that I it makes me think about the future of the U.S. men's basketball. And I know this is not the Olympics, but it's still a tournament for the men's basketball team. I'm gonna put this up here.
To qualify for
It's
Olympics.
Yeah, it's definitely a quality. It definitely helps you qualify for the Olympics. So I think it is pretty important. It's the FIBA World Cup roster, and right here they're gonna. This is going to be the first The first people that are starting up, we got Anthony Edwards, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Mikal Bridges, and Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm gonna go into the other side of the roster, but first, or do you guys want to see the other half now, and then we can just talk about it both? Let's
Go ahead and throw in the whole roster
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick.
I'm about to
And
say.
yeah,
listen,
we'll go over this roster too. All right, now we got my boy Benchero, Austin Reeves, Josh Hart, Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, and Bobby Portis. So, how are we feeling about this? Let's go back to these guys first. And who out of these? Okay, so I think that's 12 guys total. Who are you starting your five at? That's really what I want to get out of you guys. Who, and then we could get into why we think there's not as many stars on here. But first, let's get into who are you going to have as your starting five out of this?
at
Uh,
the five of this,
I'm about to say.
probably
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead, Rose.
it would have to. I would almost want to argue say like maybe Jaren Jackson, but still talking about playing overseas, man. It's too small, low key. It's not Brandon Ingram, but you would have to go with Jaren Jackson when I look at this lineup. Like, yeah, and that's unfortunate. Like that's a Draymond role to me right there. Was like, okay, we could play small. You know what I'm saying? We could have Brandon at the four. You know what I'm saying? Play around with this lineup until let Brunson run the one at the tip. You got a bunch of guys that can initiate their own offense as well as play off their own tip, playing off. The bench is pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? It's respectable. Definitely the B team in terms of like we ain't sending all star talent straight off into this. You know what I mean? But in terms of respectable talent, like everybody can pretty much do everything on the court. It just looks kind of small. Like Bobby Portis and Jaren Jackson at the five. Like, whew, all right. And then you know how we do when we lose. We don't like it when a U.S. team losing basketball. Now we suck. So I think we'll be pretty good
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I think they could still do their thing. Like you said, I think, so me personally, I would do Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards. mm, this is the tough part. Yeah, I'd have to start BI. You got to start BI, Banchero, Jaron Jackson. But Mikal Bridges, who I think he could start over BI, honestly.
I would say my lineup. I'll do Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Anthony Edwards, Brandon Ingram, then Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, wait,
'Cause,
wait, wait. Say that again. So you're putting BI at the four?
yeah, I put Bi at the four because he's long enough to play the four.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Anthony Edwards, but I don't know if I'm going to start him.
I will start him
I'm
over
going off of his
Tyrese
playoff.
Halliburton.
I'm going off of his playoff play, and it was always like he was streaky, but it wasn't like a whole game he was
Yeah.
good. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm gonna start him. I don't
The
think I'm
only,
gonna let him come
only
off the
reason
bench. I think he would do better off the bench.
I'm benching Tyrese Halliburton because
Oh,
I know he could score. So it's like I know if I could put Tyrese Halliburton in there with Austin Reeves running, probably Austin Reeves is probably him and Josh Hart will probably run the point with Halliburton. All three of them will be the ball handlers, and that's when who's on that second part again? I would say it's
yeah,
Tyrese, Austin Reeves, Josh
they
Hart,
are.
uh, Paulo, Cam Johnson. Really, Wes Wes Kelsey and Bobby Portis. I guess they'll be in the rotation, of course. But Wes Kelsey is kind of like that. He's probably going to be the one who probably doesn't play that really that much.
Yeah,
But I mean, if you come on, just think about it. What centers from America do you know that are actually like, I guess top tier? I guess in the NBA,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't name one right now.
it's not that many top like important centers in the NBA right now from America.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you want to go fast with the lineup. I
Yeah.
would actually
Yep.
go. So I'm not even. That's another reason why I'm not picking Anthony Edwards because I saw the way they played in Minnesota. They didn't play fast. So but I did see Mikal Bridges play fast. I
But
did
that's
see
that's one
Austin
reason.
Reeves play fast.
That's why Minnesota lost because they have a three center lineup.
Yeah,
So it's like that's why Anthony Edwards is having such a hard time like exploding out of that team is because he basically, when Minnesota was about to become Anthony Edwards' team, they decided to clog the lane up with more Rudy Gobert. That's why Minnesota was way better when Karl Anthony Towns went out, and they didn't have Rudy Gobert, and it was just Anthony Edwards, because it was like, man, he could finally be a star without somebody clogging the lane up, because he's a dasher. He'll get to the hole and literally jam on you. But when you clog the lane up with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns and Nazar Reed, it's like, damn. I guess he got to be only a shooter now,
Yeah,
because everybody
and
just
they
sit their ass in the
having
paint.
the lane open to having to that dish the ball out to an open Rudy Gobert on the sideline. No, bro, that's no type of offense right
Yeah,
there,
so it's
bro.
like I get what you're saying, but it's only because Minnesota has basically.
Yeah. It's definitely based off of the team experience that he plays with now.
That's
I
why I
don't think
think they,
it's
they they'll be way better this when they come over to FIBA, because you have to play fast on FIBA.
exactly.
You have to.
That's why I'm saying out the gym. I want my fastest guys, and I think the fastest guys are going to be Mikal Bridges because the Suns played fast, Austin Reeves because the Lakers played fast. I don't know about Jalen Brunson. He's good enough though. See, that's the thing. Jalen Brunson and Banchero are good enough to where they might not play on fast teams, but I think they could keep up.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That's why
Oh,
I'm
how
okay.
about
I think DJ Rose was saying how like Jaren Jackson is kind of small. I'm okay with that. I'm
Yeah, he plays fast because
he
Memphis
plays fast.
tends to.
And
Yeah,
then he could shoot. So that he's going to be out on he's going to be spreading the floor even more. Because if you look at this team, there's really not that many players that clog the lane. Because literally, even the big men, Jaren Jackson, Kessler, and Bobby Portis, they literally all shoot threes, or at least mid range at the least. Like they can spread out that floor. So I think it's great when you don't have that many big men that clogs the lane, and because this team literally this is a young team. This is the probably the oldest person on this team is Bobby Portis.
he is very young, bro. I ain't gonna
yeah,
hold.
that's
This is a
true.
very young and gunning team. So I mean this ain't. Yes, we're used to seeing like LeBron James and Kobe, all those great players, stuff like that, being on Olympic teams. But this is FIBA. We don't need. We don't need. Really, we just sending these guys really to scout the other teams. That's all we're really sending them to. So that's all they need to do is really win 3 or 4 games to get into the Olympics. That's just gonna be good enough. That's all they
What
really
I
need.
mean,
I
don't
could get 3 or 4 games out of this team. I think. I
Yeah,
hope.
that's true. Because even
play
right
fast.
now, it even translate over to soccer because right now the U.S. is playing in the Gold Cup. It's not the World Cup, of course. It's the Gold Cup. It's basically another. I know a few weeks ago I did a goal of the week that was like a tournament for North America, but this is another one that they have. And the U.S. won the previous one with their starters, but now this one they're playing a lot of their B guys. A few of the A-listers are coming in on subs, but it's really rare, So yeah, that happens a lot too with these national teams. Is they're going to give everybody a chance to really play, which is something I like. Especially in tournaments. I like how it's like, okay, we're not just going to put our B listers on like a friendly. No, we're going to put our B listers in a full tournament and let them do the entire tournament. So I do like that. I do wish that the U.S. men's basketball team had more friendlies. It feels like I never see like a regular match like in the middle of the season, the same way soccer is, where it'll be like
Yeah.
everyone's going to be gone for a week doing a bunch of friendlies, and then everybody will come. Everybody who's on a national team will go do some friendlies for a week, and then that's when your club team that you play for has to play some of their reserves while you're gone for a week. Like if Mbappe's gone playing for a France, well, if France has to play against Saudi Arabia or something as a friendly on Wednesday, but there's a match on Thursday that PSG has, they're going to play. They're going to have to put somebody in his place. So I would love to see that happen over in the NBA, where it's like, oh, LeBron, he's not starting for the Lakers this week because the men's national team is playing against Nigeria or something. So I would love to see that because it would give more eyes to the international ball, because now a lot of people are saying that, oh, it's not taken as serious. But it's probably not taken as serious because they're not playing that often. But if they play more often throughout the entire season, it's something that would actually even benefit the other teams as well that were so close to beating the U.S. teams, because now they remain even fresher. They remain ready. They get their chemistry up. So
Yeah, I'm about to say because you got to think with USA kind of got an advantage because the NBA basically the teams really the people that you see on these teams are like Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. They play together. They play together all season. So it's like they have at least they have that chemistry there. Mikal Bridges, they're over there in Brooklyn. So they literally all in the same area. They literally play all the time. So they kind of like these teams, they literally play against each other a lot. Jaren Jackson and Brandon Ingram and Anthony Edwards, they literally play against each other 4 times a season. So you constantly see them all the time.
whoa.
I
I
about to say,
thought
but
Anthony Edwards was from
I,
Canada.
so
Say it
he is
again.
from Canada, if I remember correctly.
Who?
But
See,
there's an
but that
argument.
Atlanta accent is so thick.
Who?
They go
Yeah,
pause.
uh,
The
I say he is.
Atlanta accent is so strong on him, and he did go to college at UGA. He can slide as an American.
Who? Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, because I thought he was from Canada, right?
No, Anthony Edwards not from Canada.
I could have sworn he was, bro.
Me too.
No,
I thought he, but then it makes sense. You can't be from Canada and then have such a thick Atlanta accent. Like his
no.
Atlanta
He
accent
literally
sounds
he's
like his
from Georgia.
parents from Atlanta.
He's from
If
Georgia.
you want to get really you playing
Yeah.
with
Okay. Then who
that's
is it?
not
RJ. What's his
No,
name?
it's not. I'm not thinking of R.J. Barrett.
you,
Because
Maybe I'm thinking of Anthony. No, is
I
it?
say Anthony Edwards is literally from Atlanta.
Is it Anthony Simmons? Maybe he's from Canada. I can't remember.
I just
Who
want to
knows?
say though, Nigel, but there is a distinct difference though, because them international players, bro, they play with each other a hell of a lot longer on these type of teams than the players that we
Well,
got. Even
not the stars,
Oh, not the
not the
stars.
stars of their team.
Because like
no,
The
not
the
the
B
Luca's
list,
over here.
but
the
even
other guys,
even
yeah.
the B-listers, they're still like, you know what I'm saying. You know how that club team shit go. You know how that go, bro. We were,
No,
hey,
but it's a difference when you have your role players play together, and then all of a sudden you inject Luca into the team. It's like,
yeah,
bro, it's like, yo, Luca literally is over here in America, what, basically all year, basically what 3 or 4 years straight, and all of a sudden he just gets thrown onto the national team of I forgot where he's from, Slovakia or
Sylvania.
whatever, Slovenia,
Yeah.
Slovenia,
and
Slovakia, something.
then all of a sudden, the only person that plays that comes from there that plays with him is Dragic, Goran Dragic. So it's like, bro, that that's not really a big. That's kind of a
Yeah,
change because when you practice together, that's like when all of us on the team used to practice, and all of a sudden, and EJ misses all these practices, and EJ or whoever shows up. It's like, bro, you now we have to kind of change the game plan around because like, okay, we have to inject him into the game plan. But if we always around each other at all times, after a while it's like, yo, we know each other. Look, we talk to each other. We went to dinner a lot of times. That's how the U.S. team is. A lot of these teams it's literally half East, half West. So it's like you've seen these players have been around each other majority of the time. They already know. They're probably gonna take them maybe a week or two. Cause you gotta look now. Only what? Who made it the furthest out of all of them? Austin Reeves maybe made it the furthest out of all of them. They've been literally
yeah.
practicing. They've literally been practicing with each other basically the whole entire time.
Yeah. But
They've had
I'm
time.
saying in a sense of like the real chemistry and game like chemistry,
Oh
you
yeah,
need more friendlies throughout the season and throughout this. See, if you give them 3 friendlies throughout the year, imagine like you said, Luca be over here for 3 years and then doesn't. He might practice with his team over the summer and the offseason when he goes home, but that's still not the same as having the fresh legs of in the middle of the season he's playing with you. It's different when I'm playing because he's gonna go over there. He's playing like how the guys who would play at who what's the thing that they're probably about to start doing soon after summer league? What's the thing these guys do, like pro-ams or something like that, where they
yeah,
like are playing
yep.
at these high school stadium? Like it's
AU.
basically kind of like that. Like it's just like they're just playing in they're in off season form compared to in the middle of the season form. If you get Luca to come back home for a week to play like a friend, probably two. Usually when they do the friendly break in soccer, you'll play 2 games. You'll probably have 2 matches throughout a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and then you'll go back to your club. It just depends on the schedule. Sometimes it's only just one, and then you go back. Sometimes it's two. So I think that's something that I would like to see the NBA start to do a little bit more of. Just try to bring that in, and just not the NBA, the FIBA association. Try to add some more friendlies in, so that way these other teams can build the chemistry more, so that way when it comes to this, I mean, when we get to these big tournament times, it's like, oh, this is actually more entertaining. We're not just going to assume that the USA is going to win, because it's never like that in soccer. You never know who's going to win the World Cup. Like, nobody thought Messi was really going to win it, because it was like, he still has never gotten it. Nobody thought France was going to win it a few years ago. You never know who's going to win a World Cup each year. But with Team USA basketball, it's always like, we know we're going to win. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a huge patriotic person. So to me, I didn't want to see I actually liked seeing them do this. I like them mixing it up. I hope for the Olympics they don't keep the all-stars, because it's like, until the rest of the world catches up, it's not going to be entertaining. The only way they can catch up is if they start playing more friendlies. So that's how I see it. I like to see better competition compared to just straight dominance of a sport. We lost him.
What he was
We
saying was
lost.
they're playing for their country. We just playing for the money. So it's like, you know,
Yeah. I was
like you
gonna
got
dive in on that too, man.
you just
It's
gotta,
crazy.
like, fully it's
Yeah.
not fully for the country. It's really for, like, oh, it's more of a self award for America, because like we know we're
Mm-hmm.
good at basketball. We know this. Like, it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, I'm playing for America. Like, the only time when we're playing for America is when we lose. When it's like, oh shit, hold up, we lost. Oh no, we gotta get right. We gotta get right now, because everyone knows when the American teams come back from losing, it's like, bruh, you like the most hated people in America. Like, how you lost? We supposed to be better than them. Like, America is that country where it's like we're supposed to be better than them. So it's like, for us to lose, it's like, ain't no fucking way, bruh. It just ain't no way. So I mean, Rose, you, I know you're having technical difficulties, but I got you. I got you, brother.
Yeah. I get what he's saying. I just think that it is a different aspect as to how we treat it, and I just hope that eventually in the future, because the fact that we say world champions when they win the NBA finals, it's because the US has become so dominant. And I think that if the US starts to lose a couple of medals within the next, like, 3 decades or something, or not have as many gold medals within the Olympics and FIBA as well, I think it would start to show it. One, we would start to give we would start to put more I'm having a hard time phrasing
Respect.
this, put more respect on the accomplishment of that, because a lot of people don't give an example of who I'm referring to. They don't give Carmelo the same amount of respect, because they'll just sit there and say, you ain't got no rings. It's like, dude, but he's got medals, compared to over in soccer. Mbappe has not really won anything with PSG, but the man won a World Cup at like a very, very young age. And he also just went back to another World Cup, almost won, scored a hat trick. Like, he has a very historical international career, to the point where people are going to overlook his professional club career. Like, I don't think he ever has to win anything at the club level. And it's similar to Pele with Brazil. Nobody, I couldn't even, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a huge, I don't really go that far back with my soccer knowledge. I know some of the GOATs the goats of back then, but I don't really know what club he played for. But I know he played for Brazil, and I know he got him the 3 World Cups, I
How
believe.
about I say I know he
So
played for Brazil too. That's a,
exactly. So it's like it's a different aspect over in soccer because you can also have respect for Neymar. I mean not Neymar, Ronaldo and the Portuguese Ronaldo, not the Brazilian Ronaldo. Since we're talking about Brazil, the Champions Leagues that he has, and the amount of Champions Leagues that Messi has, and the amount that
I think I know why.
Benzema, it's like you can still have respect for both, in the same way. But in the NBA, in American basketball, it's not like that, and it's unfortunate because it's like it's the NFL. The NFL is similar to the NFL, even though the NFL doesn't even have an international audience to do that. So it's like, why is it the same for the NBA when the NBA has an international aspect? It's like we can't even respect the international basketball because we're so dominant.
It's because like for soccer you have so many leagues. You have so many leagues, so many like teams and everything, right? Like it's so much. So it's like if so the only way you can make American basketball equivalent is if they did it like basically actually the NBA is kind of like the I'm trying to think of the league. I'm trying to think of the league. My brain's going flat right now. Uh Dang, it's kind of like that league with I want to say FC Bahrain.
Bayern. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Bundesliga. How
It's
Bayern is pretty much dominant of that.
in like it's like the Premier League, right? That's like
See, now the Premier League, it's got a champion almost every new year. Every year, it's a new champion.
yeah, like for NBA, it's kind of like now we're getting to that new champion kind of stage now,
You're right. You're right.
which I like. I
The
like that.
dynasty thing is kind of over.
It's kind of dying off. But if you want to get it like the World Cup kind of settings, where all you gotta do is take all those little leagues that the NBA, not the NBA has, but like all the basketball leagues, like the OTE and all those other leagues like that. You take those serious, and like their champions face off against American NBA teams and
Like the
stuff like that.
champion league, like the
Like
Champions League of soccer, because they
yeah,
have that. Because you say there's a lot of leagues, but at the end of the day, a lot of those all the top leagues participate in the Champions League to
yeah,
actually see who's the true champion of Europe, who's the true champion of these areas, and there's even a Champions League within the North American aspect.
yeah, and
So
that's what I'm saying. If you do it like that, yeah, that'll connect you more to that soccer aspect of it. And then
yeah, to
plus you
where
got to
there's a
think like America. It's like for soccer, right? For you say how like Ronaldo and Messi, and Mbappe has a great international career, right?
yeah.
It's because we don't see a lot of Mbappe matches, right? We really don't see.
Yeah, the French league isn't really played a lot,
Yeah,
which that's a whole different topic I might get into later this summer because there's rumors of him possibly leaving the French league because of that. The French league has dropped out of the top 5 of Europe now. Like they're no longer really important, so
and that's the thing.
it's you don't see his games until
You don't really see his games that much. So when you really see him, it's only international. So it's like, oh
yeah,
snap! Oh, this is my only chance I'm gonna get to see Mbappe. So it's like that's why it's so important. Like like Carmelo, it's like we see him every year. I see him playing for this team. I see him playing for that team. If Carmelo only did international play, we would it Carmelo gets so much more credit. So much more. If he did just only international. But it's only because we've seen him so much, and it's like, bruh, you look so dominant. It's like when you're A student in a class full of only C students. You look good then until you get put in that class with other A students, and now you're a B or C compared to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it comes off with Carmelo. Not saying he's not a great, but like when you compare him to other people, that it's like, okay, this guy got a championship ring and he got medals. Okay, all right, Carmelo, you only have medals. Okay, cool, but you're lower than this guy because you don't have rings, and he has rings and a medal.
yeah.
So it's like,
I get that.
but then you got Carmelo where Carmelo has medals and he don't have rings. Steve Kerr has rings but no medals. But Melo is higher than Steve Kerr. If you get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's kind of like that setup and that the way it's like, yo, it's based on where it's at, you know. And Carmelo, he just happens to be on that bad side of no rings but medals. He great international player. Don't get me wrong. I love when Melo's on the team, but it's like, hey, when it comes to the NBA, it's like compared to everybody else, it's like he's Mbappe.
Basically, I was just saying how with Carmelo, or just the way we look at the international aspect, we don't give it the same amount of respect as we do the professional aspect. And that's because of the amount of dominance of the U.S. men's national team, because it's like when you dominate for so long, it starts to lose its impact. Compared to with soccer, Mbappe has no professional titles at all. Like he doesn't have no Champions League. Doesn't really. He has a couple of like personal awards, like MVPs, to Balloon d'Ors, which is basically like the MVP of Europe. So he has some of those at a professional aspect, but he's solely known for his World Cup as a 19-year-old and going back to the World Cup, going to back World Cups and scoring a hat trick in the other one and being like a few minutes away from winning back-to-back World Cups at younger than 25.
Hell yeah.
So it was something that it's like he may never win a Champions League. He may never even play for a major premier team in Europe ever again. But his international career is so great. We are willing to look past it and say Mbappe is possibly the next GOAT. You know, like it's because it's switched now. With Messi, it was like you couldn't solidify him until he got that international career. And it's weird for Mbappe. And I feel like in soccer it's different because we can give you the GOAT title just based off international stuff. But if you do anything in professional, you cannot solidify it until you do something internationally. You know,
Yeah.
so compared to the NBA, where we don't care what you do internationally for the American basketball, you got to win titles here. You got to win. Compared to basketball in America, I won't just say the NBA,
Yeah.
but basketball in America, you have to win NBA titles for us to consider you a GOAT. We don't care what you do
But you know
internationally.
what's crazy though? When like okay, like Luca. Oh, actually, I want to say somebody just got signed. I can't remember what team he. I think OKC or somebody just signed him. They just signed literally one of the most decorated superstars in international basketball. But when he comes over here, it's like, okay, who gives a fuck? Even
Real
though
shit.
he's won multiple championships in his Euro League, it's like, who gives a fuck because you haven't won over here? And that's kind of fucked up. To me, it's fucked up because I'm like, damn, this dude literally showed out over there, but when you come over here, it's like, okay, cool, that's good for you, but it doesn't matter, you know?
That ass. That unfortunately really is
Right.
how it is, bro. Like we hold more weight for us because for them internationally, for them how they look at basketball, if they come over here and play for the NBA, oh that's just for your job. That's not profession. That's how you're getting paid and shit. But now you play for your country, it's like representing and serving your country will how a lot of them feel to do that to for them. You know what I'm saying? Like and for us it's like, oh that's nice. That's cool that I got that Olympic gold, but do I really expect anything different? You know what I'm saying? Like you we hold more weight for dropping 60 and catching the L than like actually holding a gold, getting an Olympic gold medal. And that's just simply because it's just we have a different
Wow,
look
that's
on that.
right.
Like you know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah, you're
really
right.
fucked up, but it's true as shit though.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's wild, but hopefully the future changes, and I think the future will change when the international competition gets better and it'll start to hold more weight.
Yeah.
So
I think so too. I think you
Whew.
really can. I believe we actually have a real shot at being able to do that because I hate that ignorance of just sitting there just assuming just because we made the sport that we're just automatically the best at it. Like that shit's cap. Like come on now, we need to do better
Yeah,
than that.
bro.
You know what
It's
I'm
hard
saying?
when it's hard when you keep sending LeBron James over there and you just keep whamming on these niggas. It's like, god damn, y'all ain't caught up yet.
For
Like,
God, bro. Like
like
we want to say
that's how I be
LeBron,
feeling. Like,
Wade,
I
Kobe.
really love watching Olympics, but I'm like, fuck, y'all ain't caught up yet. God damn.
LeBron, D Wade, and Kobe, and we expect and we don't want to lose. Then we better win all that shit. Okay, damn.
We expect nothing
uh,
but greatness, but it's like, damn, bro, these niggas still ain't caught up.
the only team that could probably stop the U.S.
The fucking Avengers.
No. Team Al Qaeda.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Fucking psycho.
Oh shit.
Don't even start.
Man, let's get into the wrestling of the week with that.
Oh,
God.
don't try to transition me into that. God damn. I think I'm a dark cloud, but fuck, man.
Oh man.
Okay, no, come on, set me up.
All right, bet. All right, y'all. So we gonna get straight into it. My boy Troy is going to help us get right with the wrestling moves and what we need to be on the lookout. So go ahead, my boy, lead us into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you tag team wrestling at its best, this is what I'm talking about. If you don't know who these guys are, I'm gonna tell you who they are. This was on a Saturday night. Saturday night is for fighting, and AEW is bringing Collision on TNT at 8 o'clock on Saturday nights. Listen here, FTR, I'm telling you, they're the baddest tag team on the planet right now. They are the tag team champions, and they was taking on Bullet Club Gold, Juice Robinson, and the Switchblade Jay White. When I tell you this match had everything, it had everything. Had the motions, you had the fight, you had the theatrics, you had it all. At the end of the day, if you want to talk about best tag team matches for my old heads, if y'all remember the Hart Foundation, they remind you of the Hart Foundation. If you remember the Fabulous Freebirds, they got the Fabulous Freebird style in there. I'm telling you, these boys was rough and tough, and bro, it's one of the best matches. You gotta go check it out. You have to go check it out. I want to say in this upcoming Saturday, they're gonna be having another match. Cause this past weekend, Juice Robinson and Jay White caught the dub on FTR, so now they have won a chance to basically compete for the world titles now. This upcoming Saturday, I want to say, don't quote me on it now. They're gonna be having the best of three series. So the first team to win 2 times in the match wins the gold. I'm telling you, that's gonna be a banger. They gave us what they gave us now. It's like when you go to your mama. Really, it's like when you go to Burger King and you get you a little slice of that Oreo cake, and you like, that was so good. I want more. Guess what, brother? Go to Walmart. Go get you that cake, cause that's what they about to be bringing you. This first match right here, this was that Oreo cake from Burger King. You like, I gotta have some more of it. They gonna bring you the whole cake next Saturday and the best of three series. Best 2 out of 3 falls. I'm telling you, if I don't come on here next Saturday telling y'all about that match, you know it's gonna be something. Something had to happen for me to. Guess what? I had to call out. I had to call out sick. That's the only reason why I'm not gonna be telling y'all about that match. I'm telling you now. Go check this out. AEW Collision, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on TNT, 5 o'clock Pacific Time. And I'm gonna go ahead and kick it over to my man Mel for the goal of the week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Naj. Yeah, we're gonna get into the goal of the week, man. This goal of the week, it comes from the Canadian Premier League. I know a lot of people didn't even know about the league itself. I personally didn't know about it until maybe soccer season started last year. So it's been almost maybe a year since I've heard of the league, but I've yet to really catch a game until this past month. And I believe it's York United versus AFX Wanderers. We got a goal by my man Kevin Dos Santos. And this was one that I just really, really enjoyed watching because he just absolutely ripped it from out of there, puts it in the pocket right there. It's just crazy, man. I was like, dude, I had to run it. I had to rewind it at least 3 times, man. And it's gonna do it for us. The man says, "Get off me, bro. Get off of me," and just rips it from at least 30 yards out, man. And he didn't even care, man. He was like, I'm gonna take this shot. They all on me. It usually, if you get off that one person like that, you're lucky to still have possession of the ball. So it's smart to just go ahead and try to shoot that right then and there. We're gonna take another look at it real quick. And this is the build up to the play. And we had the play, passes it to him. He goes, gimme. defenders on him like glue, and he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna just rip it right into the top corner. Goalie can't even get it. In a classic celebration, rip the shirt off, hug your boys, let's get it. And I can't remember if they finished winning the game, but I do remember it was a high scoring game. I remember the other team came back and scored another goal a few minutes after that, so they went toe to toe. And so shout out to Kevin Dos Santos, really great goal. Hope he keeps putting up some more goals for his team. And with that, we are going to get into Rose's recommendations. My boy, go ahead, tell us what we need to be watching this weekend.
Hey man, appreciate the good looks on that family. Appreciate the good looks, man. This week, bro, and I ain't gonna hold this week. A niggas been a little held up at work and tips in terms of consuming new content and tips. It's been a little bit of a stretch, bro. But I ain't gonna hold to you, man. We got a lot of things coming out this week, bro. On one thing for certain, I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday. We got a new documentary coming out for the NFL quarterbacks, bro. Now, this for me, I feel like it's a little bit interesting because you get to see a little bit of insight off the field, some a little bit at home until, but it's supposed to be going through three of the starting quarterbacks from this previous season, from Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Marcus Mariota. Now I know Kirk Cousins, come on now, Marcus Mariota, come on now, bro. You know what I'm here for. We all about the Mahomes boy tip, but honestly and truthfully, looking at the trailer and tip online, it seems very interesting, man. I ain't gonna hold to you. And for all those that are sitting there looking for something to do, to get into, or get active with, I believe that might be a little something special to be looking to get into for the NFL, or like looking into some for besides basketball right now, because it's a little dead in terms of sports content, free agency, and all that stuff. But for me also too, cause you know your boy gonna stay consistent with the anime tip. We also got this other clip right here for you talk about Kuroko no basketball. Cause for me as a kid, like watching and reading a lot of animes and playing sports until like one of my favorite animes as a kid was I Shield 21, and that was a football anime because honestly I couldn't find no other football anime, especially from Japanese culture, until it was kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, not too many people can be able to give you that, or especially when you're looking for it these days. But Kuroko no Basketball is one of the best basketball animes you're going to find today. Like in terms of the I ain't gonna hold the diversity. You'll be like, yo, why the hell the black dude got blonde hair and tip? But that you get beyond that tip. Some of the other stuff with everything else in terms of basketball related, being able to understand moves, getting better on the court, and all that other shit, bro. Like the storyline in terms of it, like you're really gonna follow a really easy track to go along with it. It's really dope. If you like Steph Curry pulling up from 40, you're gonna like Midoriya goddamn pulling up from half court and full court, just saying, nah, y'all pussy niggas. Nah, nigga, get your hand up. Get your hand up, boy. What you doing? You know there was a real shooter out here. Like, honestly and truthfully, it's really easy to get into, especially when you talk about the zone. And that's one of the coolest aspects of the anime to me, because we've all played basketball and shit. We've all played sports. When you be like, hey, what do they talk about when you say, oh, that man in the zone, bro? That man cooking in the kitchen, bro. Ain't nobody stopping him. What's Chef Curry? Bro, when they talk about in the zone, that's talking about when you're fully unlocking, nobody stopping you, doing your thing. Everybody just like, damn, bro, like there's nothing. The man across me up, went double behind the back, threw it the dude for him to throw it up for a lob. Damn, how the hell he knew that? Because he was just in the mood. He was in the zone. When you get fully unlocked and getting tapped into your offense, or tapped into what you're supposed to be doing with your role, you'll fully be able to see the play go before you even make the move. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to talk about basketball IQ, love of the game, because this you could be as talented and as skilled as you want to in the game, but if you don't love that shit, like someone that truly love it and they want it, they're just gonna outdo you because they're locked in and saying, "Bro, I'm about to show you." So for me, in terms of like content coming out from this weekend tip, I would say get into those as you're waiting for stuff like Records of Ragnarok to drop. We got In the Silent Sea that should have got approved for season 2. Squid Games. We got a bunch of different bangers coming out this week. A couple movies on Netflix and stuff, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold, especially with talking about like going to this low of the season when it's like, damn, bro, it's Sunday night, Monday night, there's no game on. Like if I don't want to watch the summer league game, or I watch this till I'm trying to get something to get me into the wait to watch until later, I would highly recommend, man, check in with some of this stuff on Netflix, bro. I'm in the kitchen right now watching a couple shows that's on there on terms of the Korean shows I'm gonna drop for next week. But let me just say, you will definitely like what I got for y'all in the kitchen, bro. But anywho, man, you know what I'm saying? We're going ahead and kick this shit back on the Melly Mel and to give him hell, bro. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what it do, bro.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, be on the lookout for all those shows catching up, man. If you got some time, catch the shows, man. You know Rouse is going to have the good stuff to watch. And with that, y'all, we going to get up out of here. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, watching Heavily Opinionated Podcast. Don't forget, we got another episode coming out on Friday. We about to hop back in the booth and record that for y'all. So go ahead and check that out. Like, comment, subscribe. You fuck with us, we going to fuck with y'all. Peace.
For the God.